in the mountains of Lebanon, where the sun burns the earth into silence, something impossible still stands. Baalbek, a vast stone platform older than history itself. At its heart lie stones so massive that no machine today could move them. Yet someone did. Long before Rome, before written memory, hands we no longer understand carved and lifted blocks the size of houses, stacking them with a precision that feels almost intentional beyond reason. 3 of them, known as the Trilithon, rest, perfectly aligned, as if placed by gods. Nearby, the quarry holds another, even larger, still half-buried as though abandoned mid-creation. And beneath the surface, ancient soil whispers of human life from 9 millennia ago. In 2025, infrared scans revealed traces of cutting methods that should not exist in the ancient world, edges too sharp, angles too true.
So it's amazing that they're still finding new things there. For example, there's been using a high-tech scanning equipment, muon scanning, I believe. Just in the last 3 years, enormous cavities have been identified within the Great Pyramid, which nobody knew were there.
So who built this, and why did Rome, the great recorder of all triumphs, say nothing about it? Maybe these stones aren't just relics, they're a message, waiting for someone in our time to listen. The story of Baalbek, as told by mainstream historians, is a triumph of Roman ingenuity, a grand temple complex, known as Heliopolis, rising from Lebanon's Bekaa Valley around the 1st century CE. Scholars praise the Romans' engineering prowess, their aqueducts, roads, and colossal structures like the Colosseum, all meticulously documented in their records. At Baalbek, they built temples to Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. Their marble columns and intricate reliefs, a testament to an empire that conquered both stone and time. The precision of their work, the scale of their ambition. It's a narrative we've long admired, a cornerstone of classical history. Who could question such a legacy? But what if the Romans didn't build Baalbek's most astonishing feature? What if the massive stone platform beneath their temples, with blocks weighing 900 tons, predates their arrival by centuries, even millennia? Consider the silence in Rome's records. The Romans, who boasted of every bridge and arch, wrote nothing about the Trilithon or the 1,000-ton stone of the pregnant woman. Why the omission? These blocks, fitted with unearthly precision, rival the pyramid's craftsmanship, yet we're told they belong to a Roman foundation. Compare that to the Neolithic layers, 9,000 years old, found beneath the site. Could a pre-Phoenician people, with skills we barely comprehend, have laid these stones before Rome ever dreamed of Lebanon? The official story is impressive, but it crumbles under the weight of these anomalies. What if Baalbek's foundation is a relic of a far older era? But what if that's not true? Let's dig into why the evidence vanished. The stones of Baalbek stand defiant, their massive forms unmoved by time. Yet the story of their makers is shrouded in shadow. Why do we know so little about the hands that shaped the Trilithon, those 900-ton giants, or the 1,000-ton stone of the pregnant woman? The answer lies in a slow, relentless cataclysm, not a single apocalyptic blow, but millennia of floods, erosion, and upheaval that buried the truth beneath Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. The region, carved by ancient rivers and battered by earthquakes, saw its Neolithic layers dating back 9,000 years swallowed by sediment and time. These floods, creeping across centuries, submerged early settlements, pottery shards, and tools, leaving only the mightiest stones to endure. Later, Roman builders, eager for glory, overlaid their temples atop a pre-existing platform, obscuring its origins. Wars, looters, and nature's grind further erased the traces, leaving gaps where history should be. But silence is not proof of absence. The Trilithon's blocks, surviving earthquakes that toppled lesser structures, scream of a purpose built to last. The Neolithic remnants, uncovered by archaeologists, hint at a sacred site long before Rome's marble columns rose. Could floods alone hide a civilization capable of such feats, or was their story buried by design? Lost to time's relentless tide, the evidence isn't gone, it's waiting. Look at the clues. They're carved in stone, for millennia. Baalbek's colossal stones have stood as a silent challenge, their origins cloaked in mystery, dismissed as the work of giants or gods. But in 2025, science tore through the veil. High-resolution infrared scans and 3D imaging, deployed across the Bekaa Valley, revealed secrets hidden within the limestone itself. In the quarries near Baalbek, researchers uncovered natural fissures in the rock, exploited with uncanny precision. Ancient builders didn't battle the stone. They traced its grain, carving massive rectangles and undercutting them with trenches, leaving thin keels to prevent cracks. The stone of the pregnant woman, still tethered to its quarry bed, shows this technique frozen and time-controlled, calculated extraction on a scale that defies belief. These scans, conducted by a team of geophysicists, dated the quarry work to at least 9,000 years ago, far predating Roman or Phoenician hands. Could this be natural erosion impossible? The cuts are too precise, the trenches too deliberate, matching the trilithon's millimeter-perfect joints? Mainstream history claims such feats were beyond Neolithic capabilities. Yet the data says otherwise. Infrared imaging proves a mastery of stonecraft that rewrites the timeline. Why would a 9,000-year-old people carve blocks heavier than modern cranes can lift? What drove them to such extremes? The scans don't lie. Baalbek's foundation is no myth. Is this mere coincidence? Or the first glimpse of a lost civilization's genius? Let's uncover the core evidence. The trilithon at Baalbek stands as a monument to the impossible 3 limestone blocks, each weighing 900 tons, hoisted 23 feet above the ground, fitted with such precision that a sheet of paper cannot slip between their seams. These aren't mere stones. They're a riddle carved in stone. Defying the tools and timelines of history, Herodotus never walked these hills, yet the echoes of ancient Canaanite lore whisper of a sacred site, a platform built to touch the heavens. The Romans, arriving millennia later, raised their temples to Jupiter atop this foundation, but their silence on the trilithon speaks louder than their scrolls. Why no mention of blocks heavier than 10 blue whales? Coincidence hardly. In 2025, infrared scans and 3D imaging unveiled the truth. The trilithon's blocks, cut along natural limestone fissures, match the quarry techniques dated to 9,000 years ago, Neolithic hands, not Roman ones. These scans, paired with archaeological finds of pottery shards and early tools, confirm the platform predates the marble columns above. The block's millimeter precision, achieved without steel or hydraulics, mirrors the finesse of the stone of the pregnant woman, left in its quarry bed. Coincidence again. The Canaanites revered Baalbek as a cosmic stage, yet the trilithon's scale suggests builders far older. Their methods lost to time. Modern engineers marvel even NASA's strongest cranes couldn't lift these stones. Yet they're here, aligned, unmoved by earthquakes. Coincidence after coincidence piles up, pointing to a people whose genius shames our own. Is this the work of a forgotten civilization? The stones demand we look closer. The trilithon's 900-ton blocks at Baalbek aren't just heavy, they're a technological paradox, a slap in the face to what we think ancient people could do, moving a single stone, heavier than 3 loaded 747s. Across Lebanon's rugged Bekaa Valley should have been impossible with Bronze Age tools, yet the 2025 infrared scans reveal a system so audacious it borders on the unbelievable. Ancient builders crafted ramps hundreds of meters long, leveled with eerie precision, and lubricated with clay, water, or oil to slide these monoliths on wooden sledges. Massive capstans, powered by thousands of workers turning in synchronized steps, pulled ropes with relentless force, a living engine of human will. To lift each block 23 feet, they used earth ramps and timber cribbing, jacking the stones inch by inch, a process modern heavy riggers still use when cranes fail. Compare that to today, NASA's mightiest crane, built to hoist spacecraft, buckles at 900 tons. These ancients succeeded without steel or motors. How did they know? The precision millimeter-tight joints. Blocks cut along natural fissures suggest a science we've lost or can't fathom. Were these Neolithic builders? 9,000 years ago, wielding forgotten techniques. Or did someone guide them? Whispering knowledge from beyond the ramps, the sledges, the sheer scale, it's too perfect? Coincidence? Or a clue to a civilization far beyond the Bronze Age? The stones don't just sit there, they challenge us. Let's see what remains to tell us next. Baalbek's windswept plateau hides a truth carved in stone, its massive blocks standing like the bones of a forgotten giant. The trilithon 3 900-ton limestone monoliths, raised 23 feet and fitted with unearthly precision, dominates the site. But the nearby quarry tells an even deeper story. There lies the stone of the pregnant woman, a 1,000-ton behemoth, still tethered to its bedrock, its underside etched with precise cuts and trenches. These aren't random scars. They're the work of hands that trace natural fissures, sculpting blocks the size of ships without cracking them. Beneath the Roman temples, Neolithic layers, pottery shards, tools, traces of a 9,000-year-old sacred site prove this platform predates empires. Could floods or erosion alone shape such perfect joints? Such colossal forms? No. These are man-made, engineered to defy earthquakes that shattered lesser stones. But here's the kicker. The stone of the pregnant woman wasn't abandoned from failure. Infrared scans show it was left because it exceeded the road's bearing capacity, a calculated choice. Not a mistake. These were engineers, not mystics. Running numbers we can't replicate. The trilithon's seismic resistance, the quarry's precision, the Neolithic traces they tie back to the scans, the silence of Roman records. This isn't nature's work. It's a testament to a lost genius. Who were these builders? The stones point to answers to strangers still. The stones of Baalbek stand as a challenge to history. Their 900-ton masses and millimeter precision mocking the tools we attribute to the ancients. The trilithon, the stone of the pregnant woman. The Neolithic layers, 9,000 years old. They demand answers that mainstream history can't provide. Two possibilities emerge, each more startling than the last. First, imagine a human civilization, predating the Phoenicians and Romans, wielding engineering so advanced it could move 1,000-ton blocks across rugged terrain. Picture 40,000 workers, synchronized like a living machine, using ramps, sledges, and capstans to haul stones heavier than modern cranes can lift. This wasn't brute force. It was a science of leverage and patience, lost to floods and time. The infrared scans of 2025 show their methods calculated cuts, precise trenches hinting at a pre-Neolithic people whose genius built a platform to outlast empires. Could such a civilization, erased by cataclysm, have laid Baalbek's foundation? But there's an even stranger possibility. What if the builders weren't alone? Canaanite myths speak of jinn, fiery beings who built palaces overnight, while biblical tales whisper of Nephilim, giant offspring of angels, heaving stones like pebbles. Could these stories encode memories of extraterrestrial guidance, teaching humans to master stone with unearthly precision, the trilithon's joints? Too perfect for Bronze Age tools? Fuel the thought. Why else do the stones resist earthquakes? As if designed for eternity, both theories, a lost human civilization or alien mentors, tie to myths of gods and giants, suggesting a truth too vast for history's pages. The deeper we dig, the stranger it gets. Let's connect these clues to the myths that linger. Baalbek's colossal stones stand as sentinels of a lost truth, their 900-ton weight and unearthly precision echoing myths that ripple through time. Ancient Canaanite tales speak of jinn, fiery spirits crafting palaces in a single night, while biblical accounts whisper of Nephilim, giant beings who shaped the earth before the flood. These stories, mirrored by medieval claims of Cain's penance or Nimrod's hubris, align eerily with the Neolithic layers beneath Baalbek 9,000 years old. Surviving floods that drowned lesser traces, the 2025 infrared scans, revealing precise quarry cuts, match these myths of a pre-cataclysmic world, a time when builders mastered stone to defy eternity. Could these tales be memories of a civilization erased by rising waters, their genius preserved in the trilithon's seismic-proof joints? Yet the questions burn brighter. Why do Rome's records ignore these blocks? What drove people to move 1,000 tons when modern cranes falter? Is Baalbek the legacy of a lost human science? Or a gift from skybound mentors? The stones don't lie, they challenge us. Are we ready to face a history far older, far stranger? Share your thoughts in the comments of Forgotten Civilization, or something cosmic-like. Subscribe, and join the quest. The stones are speaking, let's listen.